How's it going, everyone? So we are going to do I'm going to try out a new little segment or a new little post type thing to do and answer people's questions. And yes, I did shave. I shaved it all off. I'll grow a little bit back. I don't know if I'll do the whole mustache thing or not. Haven't decided, but yeah, I shaved it off. So people have been asking about that. I shave it off every now and again. My wife and I have been together like 23 years, and I think she's seen me 4 times without a beard. And my kids have only done it one other time. And when I shaved it off, our dog Maverick, I thought he was going to bite me. He was growling and everything. He didn't know who I was. It was crazy. But yeah. So, anyways, that's what happened. I actually had the wrong guard. It wasn't planned to do it. I had the wrong guard and shaved it on an accident. So I get asked a lot of questions, and maybe I will do it in a live feed and have my wife help out when she's with me, or have Lexi or Lucas do it, and they can watch questions. And so we're thinking about doing that. That way you guys can ask questions, but I get a lot of questions, and so we can do this is to try to help answer them. You know, I drive a whole lot, and we go into different bee yards, so I'm on the road a lot, and this is just one way. Maybe I can help answer y'all's questions, and you know, I try to get them. And I try to get all the ones that come through messengers, and try to get the ones that come through text, emails, and stuff like that. A lot of my lessons from the beehives come from you guys just asking questions. And so this is just another way. Maybe some of them are a lot longer than what I can post or write up that need more addressing. So right now, one of the biggest questions that we get is about our brood breaks. And so August, September, you know, is a lot of the bites, and even, you know, going back into July. And bites are something of concern to a lot of people. A lot of people, they try, or they don't really want to use the traditional treatments, and you know, that's fine. You do beekeeping like how you want to do beekeeping. I'm not big on the whole, you know, treat everything and everything needs the chemicals, but you know, I honestly don't care what you do. You know, I don't have the mentality of natural beekeeping. So people that ask me about that, like, I don't believe in that at all. If you want them to be natural, then leave them alone. And there's nothing natural about putting bees in a box and having them for your entertainment. So I'm not that type of person. I just don't believe that everything needs to have some control of a treatment. You know, I believe that proper nutrition goes so much further than just getting than pills and all that stuff. So you don't need all the medication. So with the brood break right now, so for those that have followed along, like June, we do a brood break, and what we do in June is we take our colonies right at the very end of our honey flow. We take our colonies and we start breaking them down. And we remove the queen, and we let our colonies rear a queen at that time. I want a queen going forward that has a queen emerge after summer solstice, and then I want her to. I want a young queen going forward, and so I want them to emerge after winter solstice, and the ones that can't get a queen mated because we don't have 100% success, then we'll introduce a queen because we also raise our own queens. And so I will introduce a queen. So then they're all queen dried in July. And then at the very end of July and into August, we will physically cage the queen. So we catch the queen, we put her in like a JZ BZ cage, and we put a cap on top. Or you can put a cork in there, or you can put heavy duty duct tape, but you want something that is not candy because you don't want the bees to release her. We don't want her to release. We want to give her the time off from laying. And so we'll put her in there, and for 21 days she will be caged, and then we will release her back to her colony. In 21 days virtually all the brood has emerged, and the mites are now exposed. And so anybody that wants to use oxalic acid treatments, perfect time to do it. It's just like a winter one when they're broodless. So all the mites are exposed, you get a great kill on that. And then once we release her, she goes right back into laying mode, pretty much instantly. The bees take care of her. You take that cage, you put it between two frames of brood, and like I said, the bees take care of her. Her pheromones are very strong because she's young, and so it's perfectly fine. Like, I virtually have zero loss when we do it with young queens. Now, an older queen is hit and miss. Sometimes an older queen, their pheromones are weaker, and the bees will replace her when you release her, or they have already started drawing new queen cells, and maybe you didn't catch it or something. So there is that possibility with the older queen, but the young queens, virtually zero problems with it. So then they start going back into instant lay. In my area, there is plenty of time to get several rounds of brood. Our queens, especially since they're young, they will lay all the way through Thanksgiving easy. Most of them lay up until Christmas or even the New Year. And then January, February is when we get usually our coldest weather, and that's when the colonies will really shut down. But even then, we still get a small patch of brood that a lot of our colonies will carry through winter. So that is one way we do it. Now, we do test for mites. I do test alcohol washes, and if I come across a very high mite count, and like, my tolerance levels are way up there before I will absolutely just pick apart a hive and completely just disperse all brood and across the thing. But when it comes into that 6, 7, 8, not too big of a deal to me. When it gets much over that, then it can be a lot harder and sometimes impossible to get them to rebound back. And so what we do, and we just started doing this maybe 5, 6 years ago, after we cage the queen and we release her in on a drawn comb. But they make frames that are queen excluders, where you can put a drawn comb in, and the whole thing is a queen excluder. And so we'll release that queen inside that queen excluder with the drawn comb on there. Then she will lay in there, and in about 10 days, 2 weeks time period, we'll go in there, and all that brood is capped. Well, since there was no brood in the colony, those mites just flood that frame. And so what we'll do is we act like it's like a green comb, drone comb. And so we will just take that frame out, and then we go and freeze it. And so that's another way of just really hammering down on the mites. And then when we use the young queens act like spring queens, and they're laying at a very high rate too. So that little dip that beekeepers go through, our queens are continuing to lay, so they're kind of outlaying the mite cycle anyways. Coupled with 2 brood breaks, I mean, most of our washes come back with a 0-1. I mean, we don't have a heavy infestation of mites. I don't claim to have just superior genetics, but we do test for hygienic hives. I want hygienic hives. I want bees that are physically trying to handle the virus loads, that can handle the virus loads, and that are trying to remove, uncap the different or the mites underneath the thing, being hygienic and stuff. So we do test for those, and those become our breeder queens depending on what they test like and stuff. And they also become drone mothers because we want those genetics to keep going out into our yards. So coupled with that and our brood breaks and keeping up with a strong nutrition program, is a way that we just have never. I don't worry about mites. It's just a system that we use. Small hive management is something that I have used for a very long time. I like forever. I've never thought anything different about it until I got onto social media and people started questioning it. And I've never I've only know one other person that does small hive management brood breaks, and some of y'all may know him, Stan Gore, and he does it. And mine his system, I mean, with us talking back and forth, I mean, like they're completely the same. I'm sure there's other people doing it. I know of other people that do brood breaks. I know of other people that do small hive management. I just don't know of the two going together and stuff. So, but that is one way that we do it, and that is how we do it going forward. And like I said, right now I want them caged at the first part of August, and depending on your area, depending on forage when your winter's going to hit in, how many cycles of brood you need. You may have to do this in like back a couple of weeks ago in July. But we started at the very end of July, and we try to get done with about middle of August doing it. So that is just one way. You can do it. It's not for everybody. It's not mainstream beekeeping by any means, but I don't need to be mainstream beekeeping. I could care less about that. I do it the way that works for me, and that's just the way that it works for us doing it. So anyways, if you have any questions, I hope that answered and made it a little bit more clear on the whole aspect of a brood break and what we're doing. And if you have any questions, so holler at me and drop them down, leave a comment. If you like this, if you want to see more of this, again, let me know. And we drive a bunch, so we can do it. And again, hopefully I can get it somehow set up where we can do it live. It would be cool if I could do it live and have it come through like earpiece, your questions. I don't know if that's even possible. I'm not that big of a technology person, but if that is, then hey, holler at me and explain how to do it and stuff. So I think that'd be cool. That way I can listen to you guys while I'm driving, because obviously I can't focus on the screen. I've got to focus on the road and stuff. So all right, y'all be keeping it real out there though. I hope your bees are doing good. Hope y'all are doing good, and we will catch you on the next one. See ya.